see swimmers' shoulders, golfers' elbows, and runners' knees. The main factor that is involved in these injuries and these pain conditions are repetitive movements and poor postural position. So what I want to do today is just present one exercise for the swimmers battling swimmer's shoulder and what they can do in one exercise to alleviate their pain if they happen to have it, and probably more valuable is to prevent it from happening in the first place. So check it out and let me know how you go. Firstly, let's talk about why it happens. So if you couldn't tell, now I've got the blue background behind me, which means that I'm actually in the water. So when I'm in the water and I'm stroking, I'll be doing whatever movement that I feel is right or whatever, but every time that I pull through the water, you can see that I'm using my chest muscles, my lat muscles, and I've got other rotators back through here, and all these muscles are really big internal rotators of the shoulder. The reason why that's important is that if those muscles get really strong and really tight, they're going to affect the position of my shoulder. So here, what I'm doing is I'm posteriorly tilting my scap. So what that means is it sits back further on my rib cage in a good position. If these muscles get strong and tight, they pull me to a poor postural position, which is going to be an anterior tilt through my shoulder. That's going to be the typical rounded upper back, shoulders rounded forward, desk posture. And when I get caught here and those muscles hold me in this position, it becomes very hard to pull my shoulder back into a good position for when I raise my arm up overhead. So if I continue to have an anteriorly rotated scapula whilst reaching my hands up overhead, I get caught, I catch a lot of structures under through here in what's generally called shoulder impingement. When you do that a couple of thousand times over a week, over a month, over a couple of months, you ask too much of these tissues and they start to tell you that it's probably a bad idea to continue doing that. And then, you've got swimmer's shoulder. So don't forget that surfers can get swimmer's shoulder too. So what's to be done? Well, this exercise I find is really, really effective. The great thing about it is that it's actually almost the exact opposite movement of what you'd be doing out in the water. So it is really good at rebalancing and repositioning the way that the shoulders sit on your body. So the whole point of this exercise is to posteriorly tilt the scap and strengthen this muscle right here. This is the lower traps, and they will typically get stretched out and long. So these are called face pulls. Really simple exercise, but all you need is the TRX here and your own body weight. So here's the setup. You can see that I've got my palms facing down, and it's as if I'm trying to pull something towards my face. And so at the top of the movement, you can see that my palms are facing forward, and I'm trying to open up through the front of my chest and feel that I'm engaging the muscles in the backs of my shoulder blades. In this shot, you can see how the exercise really targets those scapular stabilizers. So if you're swimming or surfing regularly, I'd recommend doing that exercise 2 to 3 times a week to reduce the likelihood of acquiring any of those overuse injuries.